We are back, and what a maneuver from Ken Doane. CM Punk has got his hand outstretched for the shooter, Brent Albright.
And a boot after a boot after a boot to Punk's head. 1, 2. And now Doane keeping Punk grounded to the mat. Remember, Dean, 98% of the time, where do you win a match? On the mat, whether you make them pin or you make them submit. And it looks like CM Punk is fast on his way to doing exactly that. Giving up, tapping out, submitting to Ken Doane, which would earn Doane the right to the TV title match against Randy Idol Stevens.
Punk is back up to his feet, firing elbows into the gut of Ken Doane, who Irish whips him into the corner. Staggers off and hits the shooter, Brent Albright. Doane firing again. CM Punk up from behind, ducks under that.
Punk trying to get around him. Remember, Dean, Punk doesn't care if he gets out of the ring. He doesn't want to stay in there when he's in trouble because it's not his title hopes and aspirations that are on the line, it's Albright's.
Burchill with the boot into the ribs. And the choke.
Burchill just using the sole of the boot to choke CM Punk right in front of the referee, Briscoe. Punk has got to fight his way out of that corner and fight his way out of that corner fast. Or Albright's hopes and dreams are going to go right down the drain.
Burchill right now setting CM Punk for the short right across the ring and an elbow. Punk desperately trying to get over to the shooter. Paul Burchill dragging him back to the center of the ring and dropping the elbow. Hooks the far leg.
2.
The 2 count. Senior referee Robert Briscoe emphasizing that to Burchill, who thought it should have been over with by now.
Now Burchill with the Cobra clutch on Punk, just raking, jerking back and forth on Punk, trying to cinch it in, and now got the leg hooked over the waist and around the leg. Great finding it. Punk is in trouble bad. He has got to make that tag to Albright.
Burchill also has to be aware of his shoulders being on the mat, but he rolls his way out of that. Punk's back over. He's up to one knee, up to his feet now. Punk has gotten there. Can Punk get over to Albright?
Punk reaching for that tag, but he's 100 miles away. And Burchill just brutally still on Punk.
One clubbing arm after another from Paul Burchill. Oh, and CM
Punk on his feet out of that vertical suplex. Punk going for the big roundhouse kick. Burchill, though, was able to counter it.
It was
Punk
a good
on the top rope with a spinning DDT on Burchill.
It was a good idea, but all the sweat dripping off Ken Doane on those ropes made it too slippery for CM Punk to get a good foothold to do what he intended.
Not to mention Burchill pulled Punk back at the last second, throwing Punk off balance so he couldn't effectively deliver the kick, Dean.
CM Punk looking towards his corner. Paul Burchill trying to find out where his corner is. Now the last second he grabs Punk, but Punk makes the tag.
And
so does Burchill.
The shooter's in, Dean.
Ken Doane and the shooter, Brent Albright. It's clothesline after clothesline from the shooter. Sets Doane up for the Irish whip and plants him. Doane comes off big belly-to-belly overhead throw. The shooter, Brent Albright, advantage Albright.
1, 2. He practically rolled Ken Doane up in a ball in midair. Ken Doane looked like one of those things you put a gerbil inside so they could roll around the house.
The shooter sends Albright for the right, for Doane to the right across the ring, and a big backdrop for Ken Doane. Albright is just measuring him right now. Oh, Al, you know what this is?
Yeah, it's a sharpshooter, Dean. And Albright has put away Doane before with this very same move. Doane fighting for his life.
He's got him turned over, Al.
Title shot. Albright's got him over. Burchill came in to back it up, but got a backdrop for his trouble. And now, Albright, the shooter, has set down and cinched it in onto the hips of Doane. If Doane doesn't make it to the ropes, he will tap.
You hear the crowd at Davis Arena suggesting that Doane tap out of this, but he...
Look at that, Doane rolled through, trying to reverse it. Can he do it? No, Albright kicks him off.
Impressive move.
He's
setting up the crowbar. Now he's setting it up.
And now, one of the most dangerous moves in wrestling, and Albright's got it on Doane. The crowbar. Doane can feel his title hope slip away, but Burchill in for the save. Briscoe now putting Burchill out, and Doane's still in trouble as Albright continues to cinch down on that crowbar. And Burchill again with a brutal kick to the head of Albright.
Burchill saves Ken Doane from the crowbar and the inevitable tap that was about to come. If it wasn't for Paul Burchill, this thing would be all over but the crying. Doane sees the opportunity out and puts the boot into Albright's head.
Ken Doane so driven, wanting to put out Albright on his own, but that's put him into trouble and put those title hopes into jeopardy as Albright again put the crowbar on Doane.
Is this it? Is he going to tap? What will Ken Doane do? The shooter cranks on it, baby. He cranks on it.
Doane, looks like Doane's going to tap. Will he tap? And again, Burchill in for the save. Ken Doane owes Paul Burchill big time.
Ken Doane over and makes the tag to Paul Burchill.
Smart move by Ken Doane. He's in trouble. Bringing Paul Burchill in to face the shooter. Wait, Dean. Where in the world is Ken Doane going?
Ken Doane is walking out.
Where is Doane going?
Ken Doane has walked from Davis Arena. He's left Burchill out here by himself. A 2-on-1 situation. And the shooter, Brent Albright, right now is cranking on Paul Burchill. We will keep the cameras rolling as we take this last break of the night.
Get sacked by the big change.
Join the winning team at American Home Supply.
Why shop the semi-pros?
Your home team at American Home Supply
As an all-star selection
of furniture, appliances, electronics, and more.
Plus, forget complicated credit plans.
Bankruptcy, divorce, new accounts.
You'll score the credit you deserve.
We're tackling the big change.
So make your move to American Home Supply now.
Because with our easy credit plan,
you could go all the way.
Join the winning team at American Home Supply.
This is absurd, Dean. Paul Burchill is out here continuing to fight. If Burchill scores the victory, he secures a title shot for the man, Ken Doane, who just walked out on him. But Burchill continues to fight against both Brent Albright and CM Punk. And think about this, Dean. When and if CM Punk gets back in the ring, if he scores a victory, he wins a title shot for, of all people, Brent Albright. Oh, what a knee drop by Paul Burchill.
Is this it? Looks the far lane.
2.
CM Punk in to break the hold. Paul Burchill stranded out here by Ken Doane, who has just walked out of Davis Arena. He pulls the shooter, Brent Albright, back up, sends him up for the right across the ring, reversed by the shooter.
Up and over, Paul Burchill. Big bowler-like form. You got to give credit where credit is due. Oh, my God, what a move.
Impressive.
I don't even know what to call it, too. If Punk hadn't broken that up, Burchill would have won the match. Think about it, Dean. Burchill's not out here for any personal gain other than his own pride as a man. Burchill's fighting because he won't back down from a fight.
Well, I will have to admit I've never carried with some of the people that Burchill is associated with, but his respect factor is going up as far as I'm concerned.
Well, maybe, just maybe tonight, this might, oh my God, what a belly-to-back suplex on Burchill. 1, 2, and Burchill kicks out. Look at the determination and grit on Paul Burchill's face.
Again, CM Punk being tagged in by the shooter, Brent Albright. It's Punk and Albright against Paul Burchill. As we mentioned, he's been stranded out here by Ken Doane, who just arrogantly walked out of the place.
And Punk's getting hooked too. Burchill somehow surviving, showing such heart and determination. This man does not know the word quit.
Burchill's come up firing, I'll give him that. Sets CM Punk up for the right across the ring. Reversed by Punk.
Oh, beautiful back heel kick right to the jaw of Paul Burchill too. And Burchill again kicks out. And for no other reason that he doesn't want to go down a loser, Paul Burchill continues to struggle and continue to fight.
I just can't believe how well Paul Burchill is surviving against these two sharks in the water.
2.
CM Punk and the shooter, Brent Albright, against Paul Burchill, and Burchill is out here carrying the load for his team all by himself. He could have walked out of this. He had nothing to gain, as you mentioned. He could have just walked when Doane walked. But I have to tell you, I have a little bit more respect for Paul Burchill
Well,
than
look
I
at
did
this,
when they
Dean.
started.
1, 2. Albright and Punk were mouthing off to each other. Remember, don't forget their intense rivalry. And now Punk with a disrespectful slap to tag in the shooter. And Burchill smartly taking advantage of the distraction and trying to roll up Albright. What a suplex by the shooter.
1, 2, Burchill kicking out. I'm telling you, we may find out in the weeks or months to come that this, in fact, is the night that Paul Burchill woke up.
I certainly hope so. He's out here fighting for a title shot that will be given to Ken Doane, of all people, who walked out and what a drop kick by Paul Burchill.
CM Punk with the blind tag. Here comes the Punk. Burchill sees it coming now.
Burchill with the backslide. 1, 2. Oh my God. Burchill almost had Punk. And if he almost had Punk, he had Albright's title hopes. But Burchill continues to fight. What heart, what desire. Novocaine by CM Punk, and now the Anaconda Vice on Paul Burchill.
He's got it on him. Now he's got it on him.
That's right, and Burchill now in desperate trouble. Remember, Dean, if Punk scores a victory, which he does, Punk has just won a title shot for, of all people, Brent the Shooter Albright.
Your winner, CM Punk, and the shooter, Brent Albright. And the Idol Stevens and the Leather and Lace Tandem are jarred about the announcement here at ringside. They changed the